Good morning. This is the Board of Appeals, Town of Hempstead, July 24, 2024, 9:30 a.m. meeting. Will everybody please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Mr. Chairman, do you have any opening remarks?
Wouldn't miss it for the world. We have some new faces in the audience, so I'm going to give you a little rundown on how we conduct the hearings. We'll call the calendar with adjournments being called first. Okay, and then we'll get into the calendar call. The way that the hearings are held, the applicant is given the opportunity to present their case. If there are any people who are here in opposition on any of the cases, they'll be given the opportunity to voice their concerns, and then we will allow the applicant to close. The applicant has the right to sum. All the proceedings are videotaped. We have a court reporter here. They're all taken down. If you would like to refer to them later, you're free to do so. There is no crosstalk. This is not a debate. It's not an argument. We're not bound by the formal rules of evidence. It is also not a court of law. It's an administrative proceeding, so we're very lax in terms of what we will accept in evidence. It's in our discretion to do so. Did I miss anything? Okay. So, Patrick, if you will, start calling the calendar.
Sure. Mr. Chairman, we do not have any applications for adjournment.
That's wonderful.
First, we're calling case 48624, Merrick, 191 through 219, Mineola LLC, renewal of grant to maintain one double-faced illuminated detached pylon sign attached to existing pole, setback 4 feet from Merrick Avenue, also known as 1713 Merrick Avenue.
Is there anyone here on that case? Too late. We'll mark it second.
Next, we have case 48724, West Hempstead, Kelly and Salcido Perez, renewal of grant to maintain two-family dwelling, also known as 156 Ivy Street.
13th or the 18th? 13th? It's the 13th, correct? Okay. Good morning.
Name and address, sorry. Hello?
Good morning.
Good morning, sorry.
Talk loud.
Please speak into the microphone.
Sure.
Yeah.
My name is Kelly Perez. My address is 156 Ivy Street in West Hempstead.
Okay. You're here for the renewal of a grant to maintain a two-family dwelling. Is that correct?
Yes.
Building Department inspected the premises on May 13th, 2024, and at that time they found that all conditions previously imposed by this board have been complied with. Do you have anything else you'd like to add?
No, I don't.
Okay, any questions from the board? If not, do I have a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I would just move that the hearing be closed. The matter will be placed on the decision calendar, and you'll be notified by mail of the board's decision once it's rendered.
Okay.
Okay? You're finished.
All right, thank you.
Have a nice day.
Have a good day.
Second.
Next case.
Next, we have
Aye.
case...
All right, I'm sorry. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed, any abstentions?
Next, we have case 48824, Levittown, Michael France, renewal of grant to maintain a 6-foot-high solid vinyl fence forward a dwelling which may substantially obstruct line of sight and maintain a 9-foot-high arbor, also known as 7 Harbor Lane. Mr. Chairman, there is an application for an appearance waiver on this
Okay.
case.
It's a residential case, application for an appearance waiver. We will grant that. The building department inspected the premises on June 4th, 2024, and found that all conditions previously imposed by this board have been complied with. Do I have any questions from the board? If not, do I have a motion?
Move that the hearing be closed, the matter be placed on the decision calendar. The applicant will be notified by mail of the board's decision once it's rendered.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Next, we have case 48924, Belmore, Salvatore and Diane Vizone. Renewal of grant to maintain 6-foot-high fence, also known as 2970 Charles Street. Mr. Chairman, there is an application for an appearance waiver on this case.
Well, we're on an application for appearance waiver roll, the next one as well. All right, this too is a renewal, and it is a residential case. There was an application for an appearance waiver, which we will grant. If there are any questions from the board, please vocalize them now. If not, the building department, that was inspected on 6/4, I mentioned that. All right, if there are no questions from the board, do I have a motion?
Move the hearing be closed, the matter be placed on the decision calendar. The applicant will be notified by mail of the board's decision once it's rendered.
Second? Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Next, we have case 49024, Hewlett, Heidi Kreit. Renewal of grant to maintain 6-foot-high stockade fence and 6-foot-4-high living fence on Union Avenue, forward a dwelling which may substantially obstruct line of sight. Maintain 4-foot-high picket fence, tree, and 5-foot-high shrubs, all within clear sight triangle, also known as 200 Willard Drive. Mr. Chairman, there is an application for an appearance waiver on this case as well.
And we will, a residential case, there appears to be no one in opposition. We will again grant the application for an appearance waiver. And the renewal, the building department went out and inspected the premises on June 3rd, 2024, and found that all conditions previously imposed by this board have been complied with. In light of the foregoing, do I have any questions from the board? If not, do I have a motion?
Move the hearing be closed, the matter be placed on the decision calendar. The applicant will be notified by mail of the board's decision once it's rendered.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Next, we have case 49124, Baldwin, Uaji and Deborah Iwanma, I apologize, Iwanme. Special exception to maintain accessory structure, gazebo, higher and larger than permitted and exceeding horizontal maximum on 2 sides, also known as 918 Demont Avenue.
Tina Pangallo, 549 Hempstead Turnpike, West Hempstead, New York, 11552. Good morning, Chairman, members of the board.
Morning.
I'm representing Ugana and Deborah Awani of 918 Demont Avenue in Baldwin. The property is located on the south side of Demont Avenue, 368.99 feet north of Centennial Avenue in Residence B. We're requesting a variance to maintain a gazebo higher and larger than permitted. The maximum length and width allowed is 12 by 12, and the length and width provided is 10.7 by 14.6. The maximum square footage allowed is
Ms. Pangallo, hold on. Mine says you need horizontal on 2 sides. Oh, they're doing, usually 2 is 1 and 1. So
Right,
that's
you have
just
the-
the 14 on the 14.6 on the 2
Two
sides?
sides.
That's different wording. Okay, go ahead.
And the maximum square footage allowed is 144 square feet, and the square footage provided is 156.22 square feet. The maximum height allowed is 9 feet, and the height provided is 10 feet 5 inches. When the homeowner had an inspection to close their open permit for their in-ground pool, Mr. Bulma, the area inspector, explained to her that she also needed to file an application to maintain the gazebo. These gazebos have become very common, and unfortunately, when they purchased it, they were not told that a permit would be required. They put it up about 2 years ago, so they had a place to sit in the shade while enjoying the pool. And as far as we know, there's been no complaints from the neighbors, and we're respectfully asking the board to grant this variance.
Carol, there's 2 items on here. A 4-foot setback in the, I guess, the southeast corner. I don't know what it is. Is that part of the pool equipment?
Could it be the pool equipment?
Yeah.
You're looking at an aerial view, you mean?
No, it's on your plot plan. Probably.
Oh, the pump and the filter in the corner, the four,
Yeah, it's not identified as that.
yeah, there's a P there, but obviously you can't see it because it's so tiny.
That's the one that's set back 4 and 4?
Little P.
Yes, that's
Not
correct.
the one over by the AC.
Right.
Thank you. Little P. You finished?
They need trees. You know what? They don't need trees. That concludes your case, your
Yes, it does.
presentation. Any other questions from the board? If not, do I have a motion?
Move the hearing be closed, the matter be placed on the decision calendar. Ms. Pangallo, you'll be notified by mail of the board's decision once it's ready.
Thank you.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Next, we have case 49224 Seaford, Raymond Rachel. A special exception to maintain second accessory structure, second detached garage not permitted, and not permitted forward of dwelling with less than side yard setback, also known as 3437 First Place. Ms. Mangala, I have you sworn in from earlier. Just your name and address again for the record.
Thank you. Tina Pangallo, 549 Hempstead Turnpike, West Hempstead, New York, 11552. I'm representing Raymond Rachel of 3437 First Place in Seaford. The property is located on the northwest corner of First Place and Cedar Street in Residence B. We're requesting a special exception to maintain a second accessory structure, which is a second detached garage not permitted forward of the dwelling with less than the required setback. According to the Nassau County Property Code, in 1920, there was a dwelling, detached garage, and a 14-by-14 storage shed. Yes,
So I can follow along. Is it the front garage we're talking about, right?
that's correct.
Okay, go ahead, keep going.
So there was a non-conforming permit that was issued for a one-family dwelling, detached garage, and shed. Timothy and Jennifer Davison purchased the property in 1999, and at that time, the shed was already enlarged and converted to a second garage. I'd like to submit aerial view of the property as well as photos of the inside of the garage, so you can see that it is used just for storage.
Well, Ms. Pangallo.
yes.
You just named purchasers from 1999 that aren't the ones on my calendar.
Right, they're the ones who sold the house to Mr. Reichel.
Okay.
So when he purchased it, they told him, there's no permit for that. If you want to do it on your own, that's up to you. And he does want to see if he could get everything legalized, so he doesn't have problems. So on the aerial view, if you look at the location of the property, there's only one house on the block, and First Street is a private street that's not maintained by the town of Hempstead. So the road it's a dead end where nobody would go down there unless you're living at that house.
Can that, either one of these, let's say the one in the back, 1942537, can you get a car in there? Is that for storage of an automobile?
The one in the back?
Yes.
Yes.
It is. And the one on First Place forward of the dwelling, is
It's
that?
just storage. You can get a car in there if you take down that
That's
fence.
also,
I mean, I would have thought it would have been considered a storage shed, but the plan examiner said it's a detached garage.
Let's see, you weren't rejected for height on that. How tall is it?
It's 16 feet 3 inches
On the ridge or on the average?
to the ridge.
Wow, it looks taller than that. So yeah, it brings your average down below, is your average below 12?
No, the average is 14.
What do you need on an average? Don't you need on a garage an average of 12?
12. Yeah, it's, yeah. But this was, I don't think the plan
They didn't
examiner denied it
reject
for the average height.
Let me make sure. They did. Joe. Thought it would have been a use, but I guess it's not. Instead of a special exception.
Yeah, I would have thought it was a storage shed as opposed to a detached garage. But the plan examiner said it should be called a
I'm just concerned
second
about the
detached
height
garage.
issue. I mean, I don't want the inspector to go out there and then tell you, you need a variance for height.
Who was the plan examiner?
Vinnie Albert. So if it's a garage, I would need a variance for the height as well then, right? Or the average height, because it's, the average
It's
is
allowable at
14.
12. Yeah, and it's allowable at 12, right?
Right.
Shed is 9 at the ridge.
Is there money held in escrow?
No, no.
It's
This
just a-
new owner is just taking
'cause
on
they
the
disclosed
responsibility
it.
himself.
We should check if they're gonna, I'd hate for them not to, hate for us to not address the issue of the height of the garage. The plans accurately show the height of the garage,
That's correct.
and they were on file for the requisite time.
Yes,
So it was noticed, so to speak.
right, it's on record, right.
That's a good question.
Excuse me, maybe you already said, but who owns First Place?
Mr. Reichel owns First Place.
Okay.
And then that's a private street, because we checked with the highway department, and they said they don't maintain that street.
So that's
That First
his?
Place.
It's
Right.
on his deed?
Okay, yeah, it's 16.3, and then it's 12 feet to the, so, yeah, so it would be 14. To the roof rafters. Yes, 16.3.
She's gonna check with the forensic examiner
Okay, sure,
to see if you need also height. I don't want, because I'd rather we address it,
absolutely.
and then you don't have a problem when the inspector comes out and measures it, given that inspector's not the plans examiner.
Right, yes.
280A at one point? Because you just said that First Place was a private road, which means
I don't know what a 288
to-
is.
access to a dwelling with less than 15 foot.
When you have a
Was it
non-town
previous
maintained
records?
road, usually applicants have to come in and say, can I do all this on this land? And by the way, I'm on some sort of paper street or
It had a variance,
private
though?
street that's not maintained by the town.
I don't know, does it matter that it was a non-conforming and built in 1920? Would that have all applied at that time, or is that looked at differently? That's what the highway department said. Right, but they don't maintain it.
Okay, so the owner does not own that property.
I don't know why, that might have been my mistake. I thought if they don't maintain it, that meant that he owned it. Is that not, maybe that's not correct?
Well, it's not on the site plan that he owns it. You see here, look at this. It looks like it, maybe at one time it continued, but this is all, but it doesn't continue. Just look back here, it's all trees now. No, oh my gosh, it's all.
Should I leave it open? Yeah.
Second. We'll put it on second call.
Okay.
We're trying to get in touch with the building department, all right?
Next, we have cases 49324 through 49424. Belmore, Brian Santa, John Santa, and Louisa Quintero. Immediate family residence, a second kitchen, special exception to maintain gazebo, higher and larger than permitted and exceeding horizontal maximum on all sides with outdoor kitchen, also known as 2800 Wilson Avenue.
Mr. Teufel. Is it Teufel or Teufel? I know what it is. I'm just,
John Tufel, a professional engineer, 707 Route 110, Farmingdale, New York.
housing one. Good morning.
Good morning, thank you. I'm here today with Brian Santa, Lisa Quintero, and Johnny Santa, who own and reside at 2800 Wilson Avenue, Belmore, and are seeking an immediate family residence with a second kitchen and a special exception to maintain the gazebo higher and larger than permitted and exceeding the horizontal maximum. The public notice mentions an outdoor kitchen, but we'd like to point out that the gas grills under the gazebo are not built in and can be easily rolled in and out from under the gazebo.
But Mr. Tufel, given that the building department characterized it that way, I think it makes sense for us to use that characterization in our analysis. I'd hate for the building department to determine it's a kitchen, and we don't approve a kitchen but approve a gazebo, and then the inspector comes out and says, well, you only got to approve the gazebo, not that kitchen, and we call the building department, we call that a kitchen. So we usually like to go by their characterization to save you any headaches.
Okay, makes perfect sense, thank you. The zone is residential B. Brian and his friend Lisa will be the primary housekeeping unit upstairs, and Brian's brother Johnny will reside in the housekeeping unit on the first floor, served by the second kitchen. They purchased the home about 3 years ago and are currently building a two-story addition onto the house under application number 23-8913, as well as other improvements. Louisa and Brian are expecting a baby and planning more and really need the extra space. That's why they're doing that two-story addition. Brian and his brother Johnny purchased the prefabricated gazebo from Sam's Club and installed it about 2 years ago, together with family members, not realizing that a building permit was required. It is 10 feet 10 inches tall, where only 9 feet is permitted. Its overall dimensions are 17.8 by 13.8 feet, 17.8 feet by 13.8 feet, where only 12 feet is permitted. And its area is 270.85 square feet, where only 144 square feet is permitted. It's mounted on masonry piers, which would be extremely difficult to be relocated, and it's in excellent condition. And that completes our case, and of course, if the board has any questions, we'd be happy to answer them at this point.
I do. Have you been to the residence?
No, I haven't myself, but I've examined photos and Google Earth.
Who took the photos?
The drafting company that prepared the plans, not myself.
Did they provide you with photos of the basement area?
No. But, okay.
Are these your clients here on the right?
Right here, right, yes, yes.
Can one of them come up and get sworn in so we can ask about what's in the basement?
Yeah, sure.
Name and address for the record, and speak into the microphone, please.
Sure, my name is Brian Santa. My address is 2800 Wilson Ave, Belmore, New York.
Who are you? Stay. Sit down. That's okay. We're not going to get you. The two people that you came in with, who are they?
That is my girlfriend, that is my brother. They own the home also.
Your girlfriend and your brother. And your brother's going to live in the second unit?
Yes.
Okay, so can you tell us what's in the basement?
What are the plans
We
show?
really just use it for storage.
Is there a bathroom down there?
No.
Is it made up into any, is it divided into rooms, or is it one big room?
So No, the basement is just one big open space, not really that big, but the second unit isn't the basement. There's like.
I understand.
Yeah,
You mean the second unit you're proposing here today doesn't involve the basement?
does not involve the basement.
Okay, so there's no bathroom down there, right?
In the basement or in the
Correct.
second unit?
In the, only the basement, I'm asking.
Basement, no, there's nothing down there.
Yes, there's no bathroom. Right.
Well, I know what the plans say, but that's not.
Oh,
necessary.
okay.
Is it finished with, say, sheet rock and carpet or some kind of flooring?
It's got vinyl flooring right now, and no, there's no sheetrock down there right now.
How long have you owned the house?
3 years.
3 years.
Okay. Has there ever been any living quarters down there?
No.
Okay. About the basement. Just since we're on this, I want, as part of the review of, you know, Mr. Tufel, as part of the review of applications for mother-daughter residents or immediate family residents, the Board of Architecture Review reviews the plans and the reversion plans, and to determine whether or not the residence is suitable to be used in this fashion as a mother-daughter / immediate family residence, and whether if at the close or the cessation of that use, it's suitable to revert back to a single-family residence. And in the case, and they give us a report. So I need to put it on the record. The Board of Architectural Review has determined that the dwelling is suitable to be used this way and is restorable to a single-family residence once the mother-daughter immediate family residence has ceased, provided there is no illegal occupancy in the basement. And you know what illegal occupancy in the basement would be. No sleeping, et cetera, okay?
Yes.
Okay. That's all my questions for this.
Mr. Tufel, is your client aware of the restrictions on an immediate family residence? 1 meter, right?
Sorry.
1 meter?
Yes, yeah,
Okay.
right.
Gone through that,
Right,
if they
1
sell the
mailbox.
house, they can't pass that on to anyone else. 1 meter, 1 doorbell,
Yes.
okay? How many cars can you park at the residence off the street?
2 cars in the driveway?
Okay,
You have a garage?
have a garage?
No garage.
No garage. How many cars do you have in the family?
3, we usually do 2 in the driveway, 1 in the street.
Okay, and there's no restriction on parking in the street,
No.
okay? Any other questions from the board?
Yes, when will the shed be removed?
The shed in the backyard?
Yes.
Why, do
Probably.
you have one in the front yard too?
No.
One on the
It
roof?
says on your site plan, it says that it's going to be removed.
Yeah, they're currently working on the house right now, so they're probably soon, because I'm planning to move
Okay.
back in soon, so before
Okay.
that.
Thank you.
Within the next few weeks, I hope.
The work they're doing, is that part of the application for the 2-story?
Hopefully.
It's not before us.
Hopefully.
Yeah, I believe
That's
so.
work you already have permits for.
Yeah, we already have work permits.
Any other questions from the board? If not, do I have a motion?
Move that the hearing be closed, the matter be placed on the decision calendar. Mr. Tufel, you and your clients, each of who have signed in, will receive a copy of the board's decision by mail once it's rendered. Thank you, folks. Have a nice day, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I second the motion.
Aye.
Next, we have cases 495-24 through 499-24 East Meadow, John and Laura Popolowski. Variance front yard setback, maintain wood deck forward of dwelling abutting the Meadowbrook State Parkway. Special exception to maintain second accessory structure shed and not permitted in the side yard. Special exception to maintain third accessory structure carport forward of the dwelling exceeding horizontal maximum on both sides and with less than required side yard setback. Maintain pool and pool equipment not permitted in front yard abutting the Meadowbrook State Parkway. Maintain 10-foot-high fence forward of the dwelling abutting the Meadowbrook State Parkway, also known as 922 Richmond Road. Please speak directly into the microphones.
morning, ladies and gentlemen of the board. Chairman, my name is Angel Aponte. I reside at 1330 Washington Avenue, Bayshore, New York. I'm here as an agent for Mr. and Mrs. Poplawski. We are here, I'm sorry? Yeah, so we're here for these existing items. The above-ground pool, the portion of the rear deck that is over 8 inches, the second shed, and the fence that are in the rear, or what naturally looks like the backyard of the house, is on the Meadowbrook side, right? On paper, it is defined as the front yard, right? I would like to add that from their legal property line to the Meadowbrook is probably like maybe 250, 300 feet. And it is, most of that is very well maintained by the owners, so they actually maintain more, clean up and maintain more than what is actually on their property. The other item, which is a carport, is also existing. It is forward of the dwelling. I would like to add that this dwelling is, both Mr. and Mrs. Poplawski are retired. The kids have moved out of the house, and in order to have the second vehicle clean and readily available, it is in the carport. The other vehicle is in the garage.
Can I just ask you, I assume your clients actually enter their home from Richmond Road?
Yes, ma'am.
I get why it's called the front yard the other way, but if it weren't like that, you wouldn't be here for much of this relief.
Right.
So, if I might just, so you need the front yard setback for the deck. Can you just give us what's required and what you have?
So,
It's a weird analysis.
I apologize, I don't have the size of it in square footage.
Yeah, I don't need that. It's a weird analysis in your case.
Yeah.
Because generally, the front yard will be the front yard average on the, I assume there's, well, I guess there's 3 houses that are, hold on, Joe, give me a second. So what we need to do is determine the required front yard you're supposed to maintain, which is an average of those within the 200-foot radius. But your analysis is so odd here. So it looks like this says front yard is required at 15.3, and existing is 15.8, which can't be right because you would need a variance. Let's see. Okay. The closest part of the house is 15.8, it appears, which is the pool.
Is the pool, I don't think it's because of the front yard setback, I think it's because of the height.
Well, actually, according to my calendar, the first variance you need is front yard setback, maintain wood deck forward of the dwelling, abutting the Meadowbrook Parkway. So your deck, I assume, is what is around the pool and encroaching and decreasing the front yard setback to 15.8. I think that's clear. The issue I have is, if the requirement was 15.3, you wouldn't need a variance because you have 15.8.
I just want to clarify something, that the deck does not go around the pool. It's adjacent to the pool.
Okay, whatever, let's see. Well, the round part of the pool looks to be the closest thing to,
To the front yard, correct.
right. And that number 15.8,
Yes.
although it does say the deck, which makes no sense, but that number 15.8 is greater than what the chart at least says is
Understood.
required. So I think the chart number is probably wrong. Let me see if we can figure out what, hey, Dawn, can you help me see if there's a way to determine what the building department determined was the required front yard average? Do we do that here?
Oh, you know what?
See, this is a very weird, look, this is, look, Dawn, here's the property. And this is Meadowbrook Parkway, so these weird flag lots, all of them.
know what happened.
So it's the average of these 6 lots. because this is all their backyard, really, but it's an analyzed as a front yard. So I need, so the chart says, oh, front yard requires 15.3, provided 15.8, well, obviously you would need a variance, so this is. See what I'm saying? What they go by, it's not a corner lot.
I think they're just reading off of the original.
On Meadowbrook. Otherwise, none of this would be here.
So they consider the parkway as front yard.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Okay, but who cares about the, hold on. Okay, so do you? think
Yes,
you
I
know
wanted to clarify something I just remembered. So originally, when I started these applications was many years ago.
Speak,
When I originally started the application was many years ago. I have a plan, a large plan, showing what I thought was on the back of that pool, which was later fixed to what you have now. And so the wording that you're seeing on your paper now is probably because of this mistake here. If I could show you this, it'll make a lot of sense.
I think that we can solve it more easily.
Okay.
The building department rejected you for what's shown here accurately on the plan. Part of that is that you're asking to have your closest encroachment on the front yard, Meadowbrook, 15.8. So we can just analyze whether or not, based on these materials, we find that acceptable without having to get into what the building department determined was required. They just determined you didn't meet it, you want to be 15.8, so we'll just go with, you want to be 15.8.
Whether it's a deck or pool, what have you. Perfect. Yep.
So keep going.
So I think we were talking about I was talking about the deck that's over 8 inches adjacent to the pool and in front of the sunroom. And that has, at its closest point to the Meadowbrook side, front yard property line, 19.6.
One second. Can you just, hold on. Give me the numbers I need for the record. For the third accessory structure, which is the carport, it needs relief for the horizontal maximum on both sides and less than the required side yard setback. So we just need to put on the record the length of the horizontal sides of that structure.
Yes, ma'am. The carport has 19 foot 11 inches on one side, 12 feet 8 inches on the other side. It is currently located, actually where on both sides it should be 12 feet or less, and it is located 5 inches from the property line.
What was the side yard you proposed and is required?
I'm sorry?
The side yard relief you need there? Can you just say it again? I couldn't hear you.
It is according to this survey, 5 inches from the property line.
And what's required?
I believe it's 4 feet, if I'm not
I think,
mistaken.
okay. And then last thing is, I think we should move to amend the caption because given that your horizontals are 19.1 and 12.2, it's a square or rectangular structure, right?
It's a rectangular structure, yes.
Okay, so you're going to need relief for being larger than allowable because 12 by 12 also dictates not larger than 144 square feet.
Yes, and
And since
it,
you're 19.1 and 12.8, you're
Nine-
going to exceed that. And given that the plans were all on file and accurate
Yes.
for the time required, I think that there's sufficient notice that this is what you proposed. And
Yes.
so we don't have to delay things over
Sure.
it. And we'll just amend the caption to include you need relief for larger than allowable too. Because all the
Right.
other numbers match up, it's just a function of those numbers.
Right, no problem. I just want
So,
to
do you-
clarify 1911.
Oh, okay.
And
Thank
12 foot 8.
12.8
Yeah, and
And-
it's 252.14.
square feet.
Square
where-
feet.
Where 144 is allowable.
Right, where 144 is allowed.
Okay. Christina, oh, she here. Okay. Okay, and you've gone, are you finished with presenting, or do you want to go over a few more things?
I think the only thing that I didn't mention, well, I'm sorry, yes, there's a couple of things we didn't mention. The second shed is existing. It's 7 by 7, it's 49 square feet, existing at 4 feet from the property line. The issue there is just that it's the second
Accessory structure.
accessory structure, the carport is the third accessory structure. And then the fence item, they used to have a full tennis court there. It is now a pickleball court, but the fence.
I'm jealous.
Yeah, but the fence remained on the side property line, so really the pole that is closest to the Meadowbrook is still there, and that is a 10-foot fence. It's a mesh fence. It's not a wire. It's meant
It's a
for,
lovely
it's for the sport,
property.
yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, is that your case?
Yes, ma'am.
Move the hearing be closed, the matter be placed on the decision calendar. Sir, both you and your client will receive a copy of the board's decision by mail once it's rendered. Thank you. Have a nice
Thank
day.
you very much. Have a good day.
Second the motion.
Aye.
I want to amend the caption on that last case to include larger, on that carport, third accessory.
Next, we have case 524, Levittown, Ashok K. and Amit Sani, mother-daughter residence, second kitchen, also known as 105 Albatross Road.
Good morning. Thomas Haupt, H-A-U-P-T, 2310 Hempstead Turnpike, East Meadow, New York. Okay, we're here to ask for permission to install a second kitchen for mother-daughter use for Mr. and Mrs. Saini at 105 Albatross Road in Levittown. At this residence, there's not going to be a separate entrance installed. There will not be a separate gas, electric, or water meter. There will be no separate doorbells or a mailbox. There is enough parking for off-street of 3 cars. The primary kitchen will be used by Mr. and Mrs. Saini on the first floor, and the secondary kitchen would be used by their daughter, Laura, on the second floor.
Is there a basement in the house?
No, there's not. It's a
No,
Levitt
It's a
home.
Levitt house.
Yeah, on a slab.
Okay.
And the second floor is actually going to mimic the first floor, if you're familiar with a Levitt ranch. They have an application in 24-1525 to do a second floor, which has already been approved and built already. It's in the midst of being completed.
Just so I can make the record, as you may have heard before, the Board of Architectural Review reviews all the applications, make sure they're suitable and restorable upon the cessation of such use. In this case, the Board of Architectural Review has determined the dwelling is suitable and restorable to be used as a single-family residence, to be used as a one-family residence after the mother-daughter use has ceased.
Yes.
Your clients are familiar with the mother-daughter conditions that we normally impose
Yes.
All right, ceases to exist, one doorbell. Okay, how many cars do your clients have?
They have 3 cars, one
And-
each, and there's parking for 3 cars off-street. 1 in the garage, 2 in the driveway.
Okay. Any other questions from the board?
Please. No. Mr. Chairman, I would just move that the hearing be closed, the matter be placed on the decision calendar. Mr. Hopt, you and your clients will all be notified by mail of the board's decision once it's rendered. Thank you.
I second.
Have a great day.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
Next, we have case 50124 near East Rockaway. Stephen and Jamie Scholl. Variance, lot area occupied, maintained second-story wood deck with stairs attached to dwelling, also known as 53 West Boulevard.
Good morning, Chairman, members of the board. My name is
Morning.
John Novello. I'm here from the office of John F. Capabianco Architects on 159 Dowdy Boulevard, Inwood, New York, 11096. I'm here on behalf of Stephen and Jamie Scholl, who are sitting behind me to my left. They are seeking a variance for lot coverage to maintain a second-story deck. During the pandemic, Mr. Scholl started having some eye issues, and which has affected his mobility. And unfortunately, they were trying to build a deck, and their contractor ill-advised them that they didn't need a permit. Subsequently, there were, I guess somebody complained. There was a stop work order, and the project was stopped. So today we're seeking a variance to complete the deck and maintain it. We are only seeking one variance for lot coverage. The deck meets all the setbacks. This property is in the Bay Park area of East Rockaway. It's a small lot. The size of the lot is only 29 wide by 90 feet deep, so it's only a 2,610 square foot lot. This is located in a Residence C zone, and the backyard abuts a canal. So there's no other houses behind them. And again, we're just here on lot coverage for the second-story deck.
What is the lot coverage required, and what does your client provide?
C residence requires 35%, and we are proposing or maintaining 44.7%.
Mr. Novella, it looks to me like you need side yard also, and maybe side yard aggregate. Is there a reason?
I believe in a C zone, the side yards are, believe it or not, are the average. They're not 5 and 10. You want to
What
check?
would be the average required in this?
Well, I guess we determined that there's, on West Boulevard, they're all basically all bungalow homes, so they're all basically like this size, like 20 feet wide. So the average is approximately 4.5 feet.
Okay, wait, this says permitted. 4, 6.
It's the average within 200 feet.
Yeah, I understand. What about aggregate? Aggregate's not on your chart. I don't see the aggregate required or provided on your chart. Does aggregate not apply in a C zone?
Right? It's the average, right?
just supposed to, the aggregate is also supposed to be the average.
Yeah.
But we don't have it anywhere to know.
Well, we called out that the average within the 200-foot radius is 4.5, where it says permitted on the zoning analysis. So again,
Say, you called out the side yard, but not the side yard aggregate. You're just,
the building department reviewed it, and this is the, I guess they found that it was compliant. Again, all the lots in this block are small.
Pardon? Any other questions from the board?
No, sir.
Not, do I have a motion?
move the hearing be closed, the matter be placed on the decision calendar. Mr. Novelli, you and your clients will all receive a copy of the board's decision by mail once it's ready.
Second? Second. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Next, we have case 502-24, Seaford Ryan Pastor. Variances, lot area occupied, rear yard, maintained wood deck attached to dwelling, also known as 3805 and Namie Street.
Daniel Burko, P.O. Box 610, Lindenhurst, New York, 11757. Sure. Is that better? Is that better? Testing. 1, 2, 3. Good morning, Mr. Chairman and members of the board. I'm the architect for Mr. and Ms. Pastore, located at 3805 Niami Street in Seaford, New York, also known as 6589-791 for the section block and lot, and it is a Residence B zone. We're in front of the board this morning to legalize a 2.7-foot tall raised wood deck in the rear yard, which is 181 square feet. This deck has been built since 2013 based on GIS data, and that it was there previous to my clients owning the home. Because of the lower deck that is 12 inches off of grade, we do need a variance for lot coverage at 41.15%, where we are allowed 30%, and we need a variance for rear yard setback, where we are allowed 15 feet, and we are maintaining 13.06 feet. We recently filed and completed an interior alteration project at the home, which is the reason we are filing to maintain the rear deck. This rear deck does lead out from an existing sliding door off of the kitchen area of the house out to the backyard. When the Pastore family purchased this home, they were under the assumption that all the permits were in order, but it turns out this permit, as well as an interior finish to the second floor, were never followed through. They were filed, but they were not followed through by the previous owner. We would ask that the board consider this application, as the family uses this deck numerous times a day to access the backyard as well as their boat all summer long. That concludes my presentation at this time, and I'd be happy to answer any questions that you may have.
May I ask you, sir, you're only here for the deck that's 2 feet 7 inches above grade?
Yeah, the deck, the smaller deck on the left.
And what was the lot coverage? What percentage of the 41.5 is that deck?
I'd have to calculate it real quick.
And I'm guessing it's less than 11%. So,
Yeah, it's 181 divided by 8,500, so I just have to.
okay, so
give me one
was
second.
there relief by this board previously for the other deck?
Yes, in 2010, it was application 10-3979.
Okay, and what's the off-grade level that,
It's 2.1%, my deck.
hold on, okay. So instead of applying 27.5, we're applying the 30 for decks. But to which decks does that apply? How far off grade can you go?
36 inches.
Okay. It's 8 inches, isn't
Traditionally, nobody on this side of that.
And the lower deck is only 12 inches.
it? Right, I see the bigger one that's not.
The 700 and 73 square foot deck.
I used to sit in the office now. Any other questions from the board? If not, do I have a motion?
Move the hearing be closed, the matter be placed on the decision calendar. Mr. Burkle, you'll be notified by mail of the board's decision once it's rendered.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Have a good day.
You too.
Next, we have cases
You got paid.
50324 through 50424, Levittown. Elsa Silverman, mother-daughter residence, second kitchen, special exception to maintain shed higher than permitted, also known as 8 Springtime Lane
Over
East.
Levittown. Oh, Katora, you know damn well this one didn't go in the house. You know she didn't go in the house. But it's Levittown. It's Levittown. There's no basement. Oh, nice home. Big level.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning, members of the board, Mr. Chairman. My name is Ashley Lowe from Mark Anthony Architects. Our office is located at 1563 Belmore Avenue in Belmore, New York. I am here this morning representing for our clients Elsa and Paul Silverman, who are the owner and occupants of the subject property located at 8 Springtime Lane.
Hold on. Oh, Elsa is, I thought there was another person that wasn't on our list.
We are here today for a proposed mother-daughter use variance and an application to legalize an existing shed. I have explained to my clients about the rules of a mother-daughter use, as there is to only be one mailbox, one doorbell, and one electric meter. My client also obtained a permit from the building department for a second floor addition, first floor interior alterations under application 23-5800, and that permit was issued on June 2nd, 2024. Mr. Silverman's mom, Elsa, who is currently in a rehab for a broken hip, which happened about 3 weeks ago, which is why she is not here with us today. She will be in the primary unit, and Mr. Paul Silverman will be in the secondary unit. Additionally, we are also here to get relief for the shed height. The existing frame shed in the back corner of the property has a shed height of 10.59 feet, where a maximum of 9 feet is allowed. We are looking for a variance for 1.59 feet. The rest of the property is compliant with zoning. These are our only requests and conclude our case. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Mr. Silverman, you're aware that your plans indicate that there's a shed that, and actually 2 sheds that are going to be removed.
Just one shed's going to be removed. We have storage in there right now, like clothes and house
It
items.
says existing metal shed
Yeah, that's
to
going to
be
be removed.
and then it says existing PVC shed to be removed.
Oh, yeah, that's going to go too, yes.
So they both are?
When the construction's done, yes.
Okay.
That's not a shed, it's just like a little PVC storage unit. It's
My
much
son's
smaller.
Brugger trucks are in there from when they were 10 years old.
It's like a little toy case.
Ms. Lowe, I don't see a staircase, unless it's the one near the garage, to connect the 2 floors, interior. Is there one? Because they're supposed to use sort of one entrance, and it doesn't look like, so the stairs are being removed that go in the middle of the house that go up to the upper level. Now, I see a vestibule over by the garage, and there might be stairs that go up above the boiler, I'm not sure.
Yeah, right by the existing vestibule, if you look on page A1, those stairs right above the existing vestibule are what connect to the floors. They're removing a closet and a door, but they're not removing the stairs.
But those stairs only go up, they're not like a shared entrance.
Yes, it is. That's an entranceway to the house right over here.
You mean into the garage?
The hallway next to the garage right there, that is the entranceway to go into the downstairs and the upstairs. We put stairs there above the boiler like you originally indicated.
I don't see where it goes into the, I don't see where those stairs go
The stairs.
into the house. I don't see how you go into the first level by way of those stairs. That doesn't, there's no door going into the house. Like that goes into the garage and you go up. I don't see a door going into the house from there.
This shows it.
Yeah, but no, but that goes, but you can't get to the first level from there. I can see. They go in and up. You see, there's no common.
Can I clarify,
Taking
ma'am?
the middle stairs out. Yeah.
Go ahead.
So there's a, right next to the downstairs kitchen, there's a hallway that's been there for, I don't know, my father had it done 100 years ago, I guess. And what we did is there was a closet at the end of that hallway. We took that closet out and we put stairs up to the second level over there.
Right, but when you go through that door, I can't see, and maybe I'm just missing it, I can't see how, in the new plan, you go into that door, and you can actually go into the first floor.
Yeah, there's an open hallway there. You go right to the right, and you go into the kitchen and downstairs.
Oh, there's no door shown to go from that hallway to the kitchen.
I don't have the plan in front of me. Believe me, I know this project very well. I'm living it.
Yeah, no, I understand.
You took out the existing Levitt stairs, they
Yeah, that stairs is gone.
all gone.
Yeah, that's all sealed up and opened up. Yeah.
Yeah, no, yes.
Here shows everything.
And you cover it with a plastic sheet to keep the window. Did you ever go to their house? She must have designed it. It's really fucked up. But I stayed there.
Okay, so this 6 foot, okay, it's not indicated that this is a door. That's the, is this like a slider or something? 6 foot, or is it just a 6 foot slider?
When you walk in,
That part of the project is done yet. There's gonna be an open wall there.
it's just open.
There's no door, so it's not a door.
No,
Okay.
it's not supposed to be. That's right. That's a box.
Yeah.
That's why it's a colorway.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I understand. Right. Well, yeah, if we cut that open now, there would be a ton of crap going downstairs, and I have enough as it is.
Let me just quickly put this on the record. As you probably heard, Board of Architecture reviews these applications, make sure they're suitable to be used in this fashion and to be restored to the single-family dwelling at the cessation of such use. In this case, the Board of Architecture Review has determined that the dwelling is suitable and restorable to be used as a one-family dwelling after the mother-daughter use has ceased. Move the hearing be closed, the matter be placed on the decision calendar. Ms. Lowe, you and your client will receive a copy of the board's decision by mail once it's rendered.
I second the motion. Thank you. Have a good day. I appreciate it.
Aye. And then you'll know how to amend the caption.
We're going to recall case 492-24 Seaford, Raymond Richel. Special exception to maintain second accessory structure, second detached garage not permitted, and not permitted forward of dwelling with less than side yard setback, also known as 3437 First Place. Ms. Pangala, I have you sworn from earlier. Again, just your name and address for the record.
Tina Pangallo, 549 Hempstead Turnpike, West Hempstead, New York, 11552.
So I think maybe it makes sense, Christina, to put on the record, you conferred with the original plans examiner and what you've discovered and how we're going to amend the caption.
Sure. So upon discussion with the plans examiner assigned, since there is no street access to the structure, he stated that it should have been denied as a shed. So the caption should be amended to a special exception to maintain a second accessory structure, shed, higher and larger than permitted and exceeding horizontal maximum on all sides and not permitted forward of the dwelling with less than side yard relief.
Okay, so now, Ms. Pangallo, let's just go through the quick numbers.
Yes.
That we'll be analyzing as we do this. Now you know what they're supposed to be, and tell us what you have so we can just put them on the record together.
Okay, so it's supposed to be 12 by 12, and the length and width provided is 20 feet 1 inch by 14 feet 4 inches. The maximum height allowed is 9 feet, and the height provided is 6 feet 3 inches. The maximum square footage allowed is 144 square feet. The square footage provided is 289.44 square feet.
All right, and go ahead and give us the setback.
The side yard setback is 2.6 feet and 3 feet. It's a little angled.
And what should it be?
Well, what's required, I thought for a shed would have been 2 feet.
Is it a corner?
Oh, I guess it's considered a corner.
Okay, so
With
2
this
feet
crazy
on,
street.
2 feet on each is the required, okay. All right, and is that your case?
Yes.
Any other questions from the board? If not, do I have a motion?
Move the hearing be closed, the matter be placed on the decision calendar. Ms. Pangallo, you'll receive a copy of the board's decision by mail once it's rendered.
Second?
Thank you very much.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? It's 10 to 11, so we
real
have
quick.
to wait 10 minutes.
We have one more second call.
Which one?
Case 486-24, Merrick, 191 through 219, Mineola LLC. Renewal of grant to maintain one double-face illuminated detached pylon sign attached to existing pole, setback 4 feet from Merrick Avenue, also known as 1713 Merrick Avenue.
It's commercial. Going to grant an appearance waiver? It's a sign. Appearance waiver on a sign case? Okay, so there's no one here on this case, and it is not a residential case. However, we're going to use our discretion and grant an appearance waiver. It's renewal of a grant to maintain a double-faced illuminated detached pylon sign attached to an existing pole setback 4 feet from Merrick Avenue. The building department inspected the premises on May 30th, 2024, and found that all conditions previously imposed by this board have been complied with, as a result of which someone would like to make a motion if there are no additional questions.
Move that the hearing be closed, the matter be placed on the decision calendar. The applicant will be notified by mail of the board's decision once it's rendered.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. We have to wait. Is there anything we can do to fill 10 minutes? Well,
Are you here on the 11 o'clock case? Oh, okay, sorry about that.
what is she?
She's observing.
Intern?
Just making sure we do
Yes.
everything.
I may join you, not at the same time, but... All right. We'll be back at 11.
Tina?
Next, we're calling case 45524 near Westbury. Ginger M. Zwinga. Renewal of grant to maintain pool and pool deck not permitted in front yard on Lace Lane and with less than required front yard setback. Maintain 6-foot high fence larger than pool installation area and forward of the dwelling, which may substantially obstruct line of sight. Also known as 23 Melody Lane. They did not show up last time. We sent them, we first tried finding a phone number for them, which we were unable to. Then we wound up sending them a letter last week. Letter did not come back.
Well, I went and inspected the property, and I have a plot plan that was originally submitted on May 22nd, 2015. There was a case, I don't know, the case number was 705, and this is a renewal of that. There was a representation at the hearing on the site plan that says shed to be removed. The inspection shows that the shed there is a shed there. Whether or not this is the same shed, I have no idea. I did not go in the backyard. I could see it from the front. So
Wait, say that again? So when they were before us, they said they were removing some shed.
the site plan indicated a shed to be removed.
Well, this is the one that was to be removed. And now, when you went there, is that the location of the existing shed?
Yes.
Well,
I don't,
does it meet all the requirements of a,
I wasn't able to go in the backyard
So we
to
should bring
take a
them
look
in.
at it.
don't you think we should bring them in? Because that may be an as-of-right shed, the new one. Because this one was 14.6 in length, so it needed relief if it were to stay, right?
Yes, obviously they're not here for the second time. And the building department did say that it met all the requirements of the renewal. My recommendation would be to grant a renewal subject to them legalizing the shed.
If it's not already legal, right?
Right.
What about this remove? Was that gone?
I was unable to see across because it's all fenced in.
You didn't go in the back?
No,
I usually go in the back.
it was all locked up.
Why don't you go in the back next time? We'll put it on, we'll adjourn it once again so that you can go in the back.
No, that's okay. I think Joe's recommendation is fair enough, but I think it should be provided that the shed that we can see there has a legal permit, and that, whatever was supposed to be removed. Remove from WD deck to clear, what does that say? Playboy, to clear,
Where are you reading?
to clear something by 4 feet. Remove, they had to make 4 feet of space on the end of the pool
Wait a
to
minute,
the
we have
fence.
someone here on that case.
Sir, are you here on,
You're not? Oh, did you punch out? I'm sorry.
Exit.
here's what it is. The deck was set back 1 foot. They're supposed to remove 3 feet of the deck, right? So there's a 4-foot clearance.
Yeah, I wasn't able to get back there.
How was the fence?
Everything is fine.
So there wasn't an obstruction?
No.
He doesn't
It's a-
know he
it's a
couldn't
re-
get back
Well,
there.
it's a renewal, and the building department passed on it.
Oh, okay, all right.
Okay, so,
Okay.
go ahead and make that
Somebody want to
motion,
make a
Joe.
motion?
Well, wait, so first you have to grant a waiver, I guess?
Oh, so we're going to go forward, we're not going to adjourn.
Oh, it's up to you.
They're not gonna show up. I mean, it's
So
whatever you feel more
this
comfortable.
is a residential case, and even though it has not been requested, we will grant an appearance waiver. Okay? This is a renewal of a grant, and it was inspected by the premises were inspected by the building department on
4/15.
April 15, 2024, and found that all previously imposed conditions by the board had been complied with. However, Mr. Pellegrini inspected the premises and would like to make a motion. Mr. Pellegrini?
Reopen it?
Motion that we...
Bring him back, or?
No.
Preface it with the explanation.
I did an inspection on the property, as Mr. Regano said. On the original application, it was case number 705 of 2015, and it indicated a shed to be removed in the northwest corner. There is a shed located in the northwest corner. Did not go on the property. I could see the shed from Melody Lane. I would recommend that the board grant the relief for the renewal, subject to legalization of the existing shed on the northwest corner of the property.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay. That concludes the morning calendar. And we will now take a 30-second adjournment and do decision.
No, you're right.
11, 12, 13,
They're gonna go backwards, 11,
15, I can't do it. This is 2024 Merrick, 191 to 219 Mineola LLC. It's a renewal. Do I have any questions for the board? If not, do I have a motion?
I make a motion on file number 48624, Merrick, 191-219 Mineola LLC, renewal of grant to maintain one double-faced aluminum sign. 5 years, same conditions.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Next case, 487 of 2024, West Hempstead. This too is a renewal of a grant to maintain a two-family dwelling. Do I have any questions from the board? If not, do I have a motion?
I make a motion for case 48724 West Hempstead, renewal of grant to maintain two-family dwelling with three-year conditions, 5-year conditions, sorry, 5-year conditions.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Next case, 488 of 2024, Levittown, Michael France. This was a case in which we granted an appearance waiver. Any questions from the board? If not, do I have a motion?
Move that case 488 of 2024, Michael Francis, you've described it, be granted 5 years, same conditions.
Second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Next case, 489 of 2024, Belmore, Salvatore, and Diane Zone. We granted an appearance waiver on this one as well. Any questions from the board? If not, do I have a motion?
I move that case 489 of 24 in Belmore, Salvador and Diane Vazone at 2970 Charles Street in Belmore be granted,
Fence.
granted 5 years with the same conditions.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Case 490 of 2024, Hewlett, Heidi Kreit. Granted an appearance waiver on this case as well. No questions from the board. Do I have a motion?
I move case 490 of 2024, location of property, 200 Willard Drive in Hewlett, be granted as requested. 5 years, same conditions.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Case 490, what? What do you mean? Oh,
Patrick,
No, no.
Apologize.
Case 491 of 2024, Baldwin, Ugugia, and Deborah Ehemwenma. You like that, huh? Any questions from the board?
I move file number 491 of 24 Baldwin.
Don't say the
Gala, Deborah Huomani, special exemption to maintain accessory structure gazebo be granted as requested.
I second the motion.
All in favor? Any opposed? Next case, 492 of 2024, Seaford, Rachel Raymond Reichel.
I just had a general question on something that nothing to do with the decision. So he said that they bought the place and they didn't have permits for it when he bought it. That was his excuse. In the board in general, is that an excuse?
No. To buy it?
No,
Yes.
no, it's when they-
We
you know-
can't really take that into account.
But also, what
When
she
it goes
said
towards
was,
good faith.
the people put it in, and then in 1999, a different person bought it.
Yeah.
So then when this guy bought it from those people, they disclosed to him, that was put in before we bought it, and the guy who put it in doesn't have permits, so we don't have permits.
But in general, let's say, not even this case, in general, let's say somebody bought a house 2 years ago,
Mhm.
and they didn't have a permit for the upstairs. Now they come before us. But is that an excuse? Doesn't the bank check for?
Well, no,
that's a
that
separate
has
matter.
nothing to do with us.
But for our purposes,
And
the
we're not allowed to discriminate.
state law won't let us.
That's my question.
Yeah,
In other
state
words-
law precludes us from looking differently on someone who did it before they came versus someone who came to ask in advance. And I think the primary rationale there is that, at the very least, someone buys a house and with an addition on that's illegal, they'd rather they legalize it so that the inspectors can check the electrical, the plumbing, so the state law doesn't let us to treat.
I got you. I'm just curious in general.
Okay? So, do we have a motion to amend the caption?
I make a motion on case 49224, Seaford, to amend the resolution, special exemption to maintain second accessory structure, a second detached garage not permitted and not permitted forward of dwelling with less than side yard setback. There.
Yeah.
Okay. Consistent with the prior testimony, put forth by counsel.
Second?
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed, any abstentions? Okay. Next cases, 493 and 494 of 2024, Belmore, Bryant, Santa, Johnny, misspelled, maybe, Johonny, I've never seen that before, Santa, and Luisa Quintero. Any discussion? If not, do I have a motion?
I move that cases 493 of 2024 and 494, 2024 be approved as requested, usual immediate family conditions.
Second? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed, any abstentions? All right, cases 495 through 499 of 2024, East Meadow, John and Laura Poplawski. Any discussion? If not, do I have a motion?
I move that case 495 to 499, that we amend the caption for the special exception for the third accessory structure, the carport, be larger than permitted. The rest of it remains the same. The fence would be a temporary 5 years. like- Oh, yes, you're right. Stand corrected. Withdraw that portion. Permanent grant, it abuts the Meadowbrook State Parkway. And the remainder of it be granted as requested with the pool conditions.
Second?
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Okay. Next case, 500, 2024 Levittown, Ashok K. and Amita Saini. Mother-daughter, Any discussion from the board members? If not, do I have a motion?
I move case 500 of 2024, location of property 105 Albatross Road in Levittown be granted as requested with all mother-daughter
I second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Next case, 501 of 2024, near East Rockaway, Stephen and Jamie Schalf.
I move case 401 of 24 near East Rockaway, Stephen and Jamie Scholl, variance for lot area occupied, maintained second-story wood deck and stairs attached to dwelling be granted as requested.
Second,
I second it.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Next case, 502 of 2024, Seaford, Ryan Pastore. Any discussion from the board? If not, do I have a motion?
I have a motion to move case 502-24 Seafood, Ryan Pastore, variances, lot area occupied, rear yard, maintained wood deck attached to dwelling.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Granted as
Aye.
requested.
Any opposed?
Yeah.
Granted as requested.
Right.
All right. The next cases are the Hootie houses. Okay, case 503 and 504 of 2024, Levittown, New York, Elsa Silverman. Any discussion from the board members? If not, do I have a motion?
Move the case 503 and case 504, 2024 in Levittown, Elisa Silverman, as you previously described, it be approved as requested. Usual mother-daughter conditions.
Second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Any
Why are you
opposed?
calling the Hootie House?
Because I have to turn my microphone off, I'll tell you that at lunch.
Why you said it?
455, I don't care about that. 455 of 2024 near Westbury, Ginger Zuniga. Mr. Pellegrini inspected this case.
Did he already made the motion?
You already made the motion.
Yes.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That concludes the morning calendar.
What's that?
We're still awaiting new plans.
All right, referral.
How about the Roosevelt case, five-family, what's going on with that? That's been a long time.
It's still with fire marshal as far as we know.
Could somebody make a call and give them a little needle? Yeah.
It's right on this 3-month thing. Yeah,
So-
it was submitted 4/24, and it says 2 to 3 month review, that's 7/2024, so we're there.
What's the status on 212?
We still have not heard. So, yeah, that was the Navy SEAL or the man. I did follow up on 240 to 242. A few weeks ago, the board had stated that if they don't submit the elevation plans within 60 days, we would dismiss the case without prejudice. It's not yet been 60 days. So, but I did follow up with them.
Good.
When will it be 60?
I'll double check my email, but I know we're not there yet.
Well, it's April 17th, it should have been 60 days, review.
No, so you guys had mentioned that we give them 60 days, to either hearing or to ago. I have to just double check my email, because we've just been waiting for the.
All right, you're on top of it.
We are. We're still
waiting on 301.
What are we waiting on? Oh, okay, I stepped on you.
That's the
Yeah.
funding one, so we're just waiting to, yeah, we want to make sure that the state would be acceptable with what we've done. So the applicant can get their funding, but we can also remain protected.
Right.
So we're just waiting.
She's on.
So this doesn't apply anymore.
It does. That's,
But we're just making sure that
It's
this
acceptable.
articulation suits those needs, because it suits ours.
So what we did you send this to the state as a,
we've taken care of it. We spoke to certain elected officials. that
Okay.
are- Certain elected officials are in the state are going to, they're looking.
they're gonna review this and,
So we're
okay.
working on it.
Got it.
Case 378, 379,
Is that the one we were talking about?
I spoke to the plans examiner, and he had stated that the relief that they're requesting is to go lower than the BFE, which is the federal guideline. Okay? Now, the issue with that, I understand the variance was granted by the state, but the state doesn't get audited for FEMA purposes.
So can I just
So-
back up and jump? So
Did you want to say something? I see no justification to add a big garage in the backyard when there isn't already an existing garage. And my on-site inspection, my opinion, it should be denied.
So would you like to make a motion to that effect,
I
Mr.
would.
Pellegrini?
I move that case 440 of 2024, Daniel Ginther, a use variance to construct a two-story detached garage higher than permitted, that an inspection reveals that, in my opinion, it should be denied, so. It didn't meet the, it did not meet the burden of proof for a use variance.
Aye.
Aye. All in favor? Okay. Okay.
I do too. We'll get to those.
We'll get to
I will
them.
bring copies. I will say the records, they do have. I did see that the findings.
I tried, even though they give me.
All right, any update, Mrs. Tomato, you were to inspect for.
No, I wanted, I inspected it once previously, I didn't go back out.
She'd like to
Yeah,
inspect it again.
Yeah, that's what I'd asked.
We'll refer to her as Joe in the future. She forgot. Go on.
Okay, so we do have a slight update on the next cases. They were presented last hearing.
Which ones were
And
these? Where
you
are
guys will recall that the board asked the applicant to confirm the setbacks, because the board believed that there may have been a discrepancy. So we do have the plans here.
This is the one where the neighbor's fence, it was originally,
Yeah.
it was their fence.
Right, right. Mm-hmm.
And they were,
Oh, yeah, and then they fixed it in the courtroom, they fixed part of that.
So I highlighted the side yards.
And this says, somehow this has crossed out the cellar entrance, whatever we make of that, or cellar.
I don't know if the board would grant me that motion.
Oh, I just meant, why is this crossed out here? Okay, so what are we doing here now?
So he confirmed that
This was the fence that before was up to theirs, and he's.
correct, and it's not. They were also willing to cut back the fence on Elm Place, which is gonna be on this side,
I need the radius
to
to see how it matters.
well,
Oh, I
to-
see here.
Yeah, they're willing to cut it back to comply with the clear sight triangle. like
And their
this.
neighbor's driveway is next to neighbor's yard, no driveway.
Theirs is right here,
Right.
yeah,
But when you pull out, you kind of look that way. This is just a pedestrian.
correct, correct. But they're willing to cut that back.
Okay, so obviously,
Yep.
relocate
Yeah,
eight
so-
point six feet up, well, it's only 4 foot high. Usually that used to be as of right. Yeah.
But, yep, so a portion of the fence near the subject location driveway has been removed to provide an 8-foot clearance for any vehicles from backing up, to have clear sight to the southwest sidewalk for any pedestrian walking area. The setbacks on both front yards are correct at 29.9 feet from Leonard Avenue and 20.54 feet from Elm Place, with the second floor additions over the original dwelling constructed in 1956. The only area which is considered an overhang is located on the northwest side of the main dwelling, maintaining a 4.6 foot to the required side yard. And again, he believes that the roof over to the cellar entrance is 25.9 feet from Leonard Avenue, which should be a permitted encroachment. So,
Actually, 25.9.
so,
Okay.
so I don't know if,
Is everyone okay with that?
How does this differ from what he originally?
he confirmed that what he testified to was correct.
Okay,
And then added this.
And then they added the clear sight triangle.
okay, thank you.
Okay, I'll move
Somebody
that.
want to make a motion?
I will. I move in cases 467 and 468 of 2024 in Uniondale, Maria Mendez, property 455 Elm Place, be approved as requested with the changes in that there will be an added clear sight triangle on the southwest, on the southern part of the property along Elm Place, 8-foot cutback near the applicant's driveway.
Then should we deny that portion of the
And,
application?
and that we would, yes, we'll deny that portion of the application. Hold on. The entrance and stuff down is a permitted encroachment. Yeah, I think it's right. I mean, it's just the overhang that is before us. De minimis.
So, we'll do the fence temporary, and we'll deny the portion because they
Yeah.
complied?
Yeah, so to clarify,
Correct, I'm talking about the
to clarify, we are denying the portion of the 4-foot fence that does not maintain an 8-foot setback forward of the house toward Elm Place. And we have determined that the overhang over the cellar entrance and the cellar entrance itself are permitted encroachments. And I think we should make the fence forward of the dwelling temporary. The portion that we did grant forward the dwelling temporary.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Mr. Pellegrini? Yes, hi. Did you get a chance to inspect? 469. Yes. And?
What say you?
The applicant himself has ornamental grass that blocks his view. So it's between the driveway and the existing ornamental grass. It's higher and it blocks his view.
That is a living fence.
That's okay, this doesn't, this is an change.
What view does that block?
What?
How does that block his view that already doesn't block?
This is,
Torah, if that's his driveway,
yes.
it, how does that block his view?
Yeah, because he's coming out, and by the time he gets anywhere close to this, that's out of the way. This might be.
He agreed to remove that ornamental grass, so
Remove the ornamental grass.
I moved that face. I lost my.
Perfect, 469, 470?
Yes, thank you. That 469, 470, that we grant the application to allow the swimming pool in the front yard setback and allow him to maintain his 10.5-foot high living fence.
Do you want that to be temporary?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I don't know. We're going green, maybe not.
No, that's a good point.
Plant trees.
Because, you know what? It doesn't have to be temporary, because usually temporary is we don't want him to go further in. He's already,
Right.
we're getting it all the way there.
Plant trees.
The plans also indicate that there is a wrought iron fence that surrounds the property. So it is protected as far as Section 252 pools comply. However, the applicant's driveway, the vision is imposed or compromised by an existing ornamental grass bush that blocks his view. That should be removed, and the applicant agreed to that.
And he must maintain that wrought iron fence, even though he's got the hedge.
Yes,
That'll be part of the pool conditions.
yes.
Block out the sun. like
Second.
Christmas decoration.
All in favor?
Aye.
All in favor?
Okay, so, I don't know if we want
It
to
is.
wait for Ms. Perry for the next one, because she did inspect, but the
Yes.
applicant did provide an updated site plan that shows both of the living fences. We'll revisit that this afternoon, maybe?
Yep, yeah,
Okay.
she'll hopefully be in.
Okay, so I found out about 481 and 482 Baldwin Azizi Quad. Remember there was that discrepancy as to how can the larger building require less parking spaces than the smaller building? Well, found out it's because the relief being sought. The religious use involves public assembly, which is why the calculation is higher Then the other use, which is retail, which I believe it's one spot for every 200 feet. So that's how the numbers came to be, and the numbers that were on the plans were in fact correct.
It's my opinion that they never proved their case and that there is no religious use being applied for before the board. This is a landlord and a business doing business as ASQ Realty Corporation attempting to legalize this whole strip mall or whatever you would call it. In addition to that, a church, quote unquote. The architect was the one who presented the case. There was testimony extracted that it possibly could be a religious use. I personally am not satisfied that there is New York State religious corporations law outlines what is necessary to be religious use. We have no proof or evidence.
I'd like to see that.
It's on my phone.
I'm not eager to jump on this either.
We have no basis, in my opinion, to grant this case as presented.
Do we have the file up here on this one?
And it should,
Okay. Yeah, I'd like to look at the
Hey,
file.
Let me know when you're ready.
Did it, let's get it done.
Oh, you want to just deny it? Okay.
Either,
Or would you want to dismiss it without prejudice, that they can refile
yes, that's,
properly?
Good.
You're-
Fine, I'm down for
and
that.
it needs two separate applications. It needs the application for those other than the religious use, which requires its own parking and its own use. So I would recommend that the board dismiss this case without prejudice and let them come back with the necessary filings. And I discussed with counsel and secretary to the board what I believe should be a requirement of the office to place religious uses on a calendar, and that would be to comply with paperwork that is under the New York State Religious Corporations
Okay.
Law.
Good idea.
Which require, do you have those, by any chance, those
Okay,
conditions?
we believe you.
No, there's a lot,
Religious corporations law?
Yeah.
It might, the McKinney's books might be available in the town attorney's office. We do not have them.
But either way, to be complied with.
there's well, I didn't finish yet. Because we're on the subject, I have your attention. I would like to suggest that the board adopt a board rule, and that be written and adopted and filed in the town clerk's office, that the office will have the authority to collect those information under the Religious Corporations Law, which include disclosures from the board of directors, which include their, I don't have it with me. What else? It's like
Their
5 items.
entity documents, their entity
Yes,
formation
all of that
document.
information to validate,
And whatever 501c3 materials or other religious entity documents, and any other tax waiver document, whatever. And also then our office would also prepare it. Someone in the office, like whoever heads it up, can create a checklist that is handed out to complete the file for religious uses too.
that would be, Patrick would see that that's,
Okay, well, whoever it is, not for me to say.
But I think we have to think of that. Yeah, let's discuss it.
Work through it, yeah. but
Yeah, let's.
I think
Yeah.
is that your motion to adopt?
I'm listening to Patrick has some input also.
Yeah.
Legally enforceable.
Yep.
Correct.
And we're
So a
going to do
public
that
record,
on
it should
every
be.
religious use application?
exactly.
You have to.
Well, correct.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
going to be the forms you have to put in to start your case.
So,
Okay, so we'll wait on the motion to adopt the
so
rule.
that, but if dismissing without prejudice, I know that Mr. Pellegrini made the motion. Does anyone second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Okay, so, the next two cases, Mr. Albertine contacted our office and did state that the applicant was willing to increase the grade on the property.
Is that the one that's lower than
That's
all
the
the
one that
rest?
was lower.
Yes.
Joseph?
That should be subject to the highway
Well, and
department and engineering to validate
that's what would happen. The building department would go through both of those.
I would like to, in my opinion, I'd like to see that go
Done prior.
before the highway department and/or the engineering department to see whether or not it's a valid condition that we can impose.
Well, they wouldn't say whether we can legally impose it.
Okay,
but
whether or
They could say
not
whether
that could
it's
be done.
practical.
Yeah, but they
it's
offered
feasible.
that, did they not?
The applicant did, but do we know that the highway department and/or engineering
Well,
would go along with it?
that's a risk the applicant has to take.
It would be subject to approval from, we can add a condition that it's subject to approval
Yeah.
from all relevant departments, which it already is, but if you want that expressed, we can do that.
Right,
It should be expressed.
okay.
So we'll
Okay.
we'll add a condition with respect to grade, that the applicant shall increase the grade.
To what?
Well, I'll speak to.
To whatever it
To
is.
that, which is, I mean, what if one side's
Level
higher
with
and
the
lower?
adjoining property.
But
Jason,
what if
right.
they're different? You'll figure it out.
Yeah. And we'll make the condition also that it's subject to
All relevant,
approval
all governing agencies.
Got it. Engineering
from
and/or,
all relevant departments and agencies. Okay?
yes.
We have a motion?
I make that motion,
Second,
that we grant it subject to.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, and abstentions.
Okay, so, the next case, I did draft a decision, I did email it to everyone. Everyone would like it.
I'll take one.
Yeah, I'll take one.
So,
Let me see if I read it.
you want it?
Yeah, I'll take it.
Okay.
Thank
Yep. And then you guys read it? That's the, it's a long one. I basically, used as a template the other temporary grant for the trailers. And I did add specific conditions that were requested, like dumpsters, the 4-foot linear wide gate to allow for access that can be utilized by folks unless it's an emergency. And I know they testified that they needed the trailers for 3 years. I thought it prudent to make the grant temporary for 1 year, so the board can kind of assess the progress of the application.
I agree.
So I made that temporary. And then also a section where they had to apply for the permanent structure within 3 years.
Do you, I'm sorry, do you recall what the Nassau County Planning Commission
They
recommended?
recommended disapproval.
On what basis?
Bad case.
Oh, God. I don't know why I like you.
Same reason I like you, Joe. It's okay. Anyway, you incorporated it in here.
With the NCPC,
Yeah, I mean,
I incorporated the commission.
Right,
Our
not the
conditions.
NCPC, no reference.
Yeah,
and what about C?
Wow, look at you.
we did make a secret.
Owens, you're good.
You'll just use
Well, we would, yeah, if the
We'll
board's
do
willing to adopt the draft, we would have to make a
Secret.
determination.
Right, and we'll make it.
Yeah,
Pat-
of course, of course.
Patrick has the NCPC.
So, NCPC found that the project results in significant parking deficit, a shortfall, 8% that may result in spillover of parking onto Donahue Street and other proximate residential streets, creating potential parking congestion along these roads. The proposed private school located in the residential neighborhood will have the potential to impact traffic flow, parking congestion, pedestrian safety, when considering its proximity to public elementary school across the street from the subject property, especially when considering bus traffic from the elementary school and potential bus traffic from proposed private school. The proposed school represents an expansion of the current school located on Baywater Boulevard in terms of grade, serving 9 through 12 enrollment staff, as well as the inclusion of basketball court on the premises that is located in the residential neighborhood. and occupying the trailers on the premises as classrooms may present a safety hazard if they are not in strict adherence to state and town building and fire codes. And it be further resolved that the Nassau County Planning Commission hereby recommends disapproval.
So just a little bit about the parking. The conditions that are in there state that no more than 8 employees can be on premises at any time when school's in session. Additionally, no children are permitted to drive to school. I mean, there was testimony that their hours are from like 7:45 in the morning till like 11 p.m. They were very, very, very long. So they did state that there was really no overlapping of traffic with the school that's directly by the premises.
Motion. All right, Mr. Chairman, as it relates, 485, 2024 in Inwood, Yeshiva Kol Torah of 5 towns in Far Rockaway. I first move that the board adopt a negative declaration as to the secret determination based on the testimony at the hearing, the materials in the file, and all other reviewed materials.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Next, Mr. Chairman, I recommend, hold on. Okay, I move that we adopt the draft decision prepared by council to the board based on our prior deliberation and decision.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Now, I also
There's two cases. Is it 55? It's 255. What's the secret
I
time?
mean, Joanne raised a good question, why is it an online, why don't we put this online decisions? I mean, it's,
I'll make a motion, Mr. Chairman, as it
don't
relates
mind
to
that.
cases 255 and 256 of 2024 in Inwood, Jose Rodriguez. The property is located at 87 Wall Avenue, again in Inwood. I move that we adopt the draft decision prepared by council of the board based on our prior deliberations and decisions.
Second.
second,
Aye.
Aye.
I have a friend of mine who lives in Plainview, and she
I'm
asked
unaware of any updates for 258.
if I could get a permit, so I called them town of Oyster Bay.
Yes.
We needed a notarized letter from the owner. Is this in public record? You want to go that way? Go to file a FOIA?
There was a case that the board had
So you
granted
gotta be kidding, it's all, nope.
and we were awaiting corrected plans. When I was doing the decision, I noticed that the math didn't match up. So we are still awaiting the corrected plans. I can't do the decision. At this point, the minutes are ready to be filed, except for the last decision. that
Minutes
I-
for all the other cases.
Correct. So I'm unable to do the decision without the presentation. So my suggestion would be that the board sui sponte reopen the case, restore it to the
Reserve calendar.
reserve calendar, so then we can go ahead and file our minutes. They file their stuff, we'll have the building department review it, we can review it, and our,
I have the materials. As it relates to case 217 of 2024, property is located at, the application of J.W. Kodesh Holdings, Inc. Property is located at 773 Gulf Drive in Woodmere. Based on information provided by council that is previously in the record, waiting for corrected plans reflecting the accurate numbers because they didn't all match up with what the board understood to be the case before it. I move that we reopen the case and restore it to the decision calendar so that we can await those plans and give them sufficient time to have them reviewed by the building department and get them submitted to our board.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
No, I'm gonna do it while she's occupied. We have extensions of time, Moores of Baldwin LLC.
Go ahead.
Thank you. I appreciate, yes, I figured I'd take the opportunity to go ahead while,
No, I'm briefing them on an application that's years old that will somehow find its way up to the U.S. Supreme Court.
really?
Yes, you,
That we had?
yes. You can guess which one to forget it.
Go ahead.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Discuss it.
Sorry. I don't belong here. Moore's of Baldwin LLC, it's the complete construction. I'm told that they're just waiting for upgrading the utilities. It was in Baldwin, Mount Sinai, South Nassau. They need an extension of time to complete the facade work. Mrs. D'Amato is not voting or participating.
Just write Katie out.
We're going to grant the extension. Albany?
John Street LLC is a subdivision that was granted in 2024. They're just waiting through the bureaucracy to get their permits. And Sunrise Development Corporation, the same thing, they need to secure their building permits.
How does that one look that's starting?
Would you like to make a motion that we grant all of
Can
them?
I just look at the pictures?
I would move that we grant these cases 10 months.
Second.
All in favor?
Oh, this is nice. Where is this? Wow, it's nice. It's pretty, look. The one that just got a complete construction.